So guys, Sinners is the new film by Ryan Coogler, and this was on my most anticipated films of 2025, as I did a video on last year, and I was really hyped for this while trying to stay away from spoilers. So, what did I think of it? Did I get sucked into it? Oh, had the blood drained out of me. Let's take a deeper look. So Sinners tells the story of these two twin brothers who have previously worked with Al Capone in nefarious dealings in Chicago, and now they've gone to the deep south, very racist area, and they want to open up a juke joint, which is basically bluesgrass music and illegal alcohol. That is overall the very simple premise of this story. And on the way we meet different characters from their past that happen to be back in this deep south town. So first of all, guys, let's get out of the way the supposed secret, which is really given away in the trailers. So this is not a spoiler if you've seen the trailers. Yes, there are vampires in this film. Ryan Coogler has almost tried to do a bit of a From Dusk Till Dawn, a film where you think it's all about normal life set in a certain era, and then vampires come out of nowhere. Now, there is so much hype about this film, and I have to be honest, I went into Sinners wanting to love this film. I was so excited about it. I was telling everyone even before I had seen it to go see it, and I refused to go and see this in a standard screening because this was shot in IMAX cameras. This was shot for the big screen. Now, the cinematographer here is Autumn Arkapour. She's got a middle name. I'm just going to go with Autumn Arkapour. Now, she was Ryan Coogler's cinematographer on Wakanda Forever, which is a film I haven't seen. I have a little bit of a weird history with her, not directly, but her husband, Adam Arkapour, shot my short film, Bomb Alaska, 20 years ago, back in 2005. So I worked with him, and now he's married to this woman who's doing pretty good. So overall, guys, what did I think of Sinners? Well, first of all, I'm going to look at the positives. Then I'm going to look at the negatives. So the positives with Sinners is this is fresh, new filmmaking. And that's what I want. So I can't complain with that. Ryan Coogler has been given a budget of $90 million to go and make an original idea that he's written and he's directed. And he had final cut on this. So this is all him. He also made a deal that he gets the complete rights for the film back in 25 years' time. So some pretty smart dealing there for Ryan Coogler. Now, he's obviously a very talented man. So positives here is his direction overall is very assured. He knows what he's doing. I have no issue with that. Another positive is the characters. The characters that Ryan has created on page have really come to life with incredible performances. So I'll talk about characters and performance in the one here. Michael B. Jordan, I'm a huge fan of his. I did enjoy him in Creed, but I thought in Black Panther, he was the guy that set that screen alight. He wasn't the lead in that. He was like a co-lead, and he was the bad guy in Black Panther. But he has this magnetism. But what I wanted to see from him is to take on a real kind of character performance. And even though this is overall in a way the lead role in the film, it's still a dual character performance where he's playing the two twin brothers. So one is Stack, who's probably the more lighter hearted of the two, and then the other one is Smoke, who's the more badass of the two. And Jordan is fantastic in these roles. I can't fault his performance. Delroy Lindo is in the film, and he is phenomenal. And there's a newcomer, Miles Caton, who is a blues singer in America, and this is his first acting role, and you wouldn't think so. I would be very pleased. This film's probably out too early in the year for Oscars next year, but I'd be very pleased if there was a Best Supporting Actor nomination going his way. The music in the film is fantastic with the positives as well. Great score, great music performed in front of the camera. And as of more positives, and this is a positive and will be my negatives, the cinematography. Yes, the cinematography, if you're not aware, guys, the cinematography really is the director's medium, especially when you've got a writer-director like Ryan Coogler. Trust me, every shot you're seeing on that screen is planned out with him, not the cinematographer. It's planned in his head as he's writing, and then he will make notes, etc., and he will get that vision on the screen. So in that sense, the cinematography is fantastic overall, with shot composition, the movement of the camera, especially scene I'm going to talk about a little bit later, a scene that a lot of people are talking about and trying to avoid as much spoilers as possible. And also in positives is the production design is fantastic. You can see a bit of budget went there, and also the sound design is fantastic. The sound design's great, and the wardrobe, it all looks and fits this 1930s period piece really well. Now, in the negatives, back to the cinematography, well, sometimes it's not quite there with the lighting, and that has to come back to the cinematographer, because make no mistake, guys, a cinematographer is about taking the director's vision and then lighting that. So they get a lot of credit for big, beautiful wide-angle shots and all that. That is more from the director, especially a writer-director. That's his vision you're seeing. But the cinematographer is in charge then of the grips and the gaffers, so the lighting and the technical department to move the camera, and these guys, the gaffers, to light the set. So with that, there are times when the lighting is just off. A character will kind of come into the foreground, and even if it's a night shot and they're outside, you still need to see that character's face to read their reaction to what's going on, especially when there's vampires lurking around and this person has no idea what's going on. They're hearing sounds and they're scared, and the lighting's not there. And this happens even in interior scenes where the lighting is just disappointing. So as far as the work here and the lighting, sometimes it's hit and sometimes it's miss. Also, what I found a little bit jarring, we'll have a real life location shot, a beautiful wide angle shot, and we're like panning over these fields, or we're pushing in onto this road, and a car will be driving, and it's all done for real. And we see the car driving, we see the location, and then we cut to the car. Now it's an open roof car, so we see the actors in it, etc. And then it's clearly green screen behind them. As the car's driving along, we're on a side shot and the characters are talking, and then that will cut to a real live wide angle shot again, and we're seeing a real location. So I found that a little jarring, and sometimes it would be quite bright and then just a little bit darkish. But overall, I still recommend people see this film, if you go and see it, to see it in IMAX or to see it on, like here in Australia, we've got VMAX cinemas, to see it in a wide screen cinema, not, a pokey standard cinema. That's definitely my recommendation. So with more negatives, well, overall, and this is really my overall final thought of the film just left me empty. The film just didn't really do anything for me. And again, I'm so glad that Ryan Coogler is making original cinema, and I want people to go and see it. And I also realize I'm in a tiny minority that doesn't love this film, and trust me, I wanted to love it. But for me, about 50 minutes into this film, and it's 2 hours and 17 minutes long, so it's 137 minutes, and you really start to feel that. Now, I'm all for characters being fleshed out in a long-running film that shows you the characters and different characters. But the problem here is there's too much time spent on characters where there's not enough payoff with those characters. And we spent so much time with them, and then the payoff just isn't there with them either. And as you know, I'm trying to avoid any real spoilers here for you. Now, let's get to the shot I talked about earlier and everyone's talking about. Trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible. It's a shot that involves the past, the present, the future. So different time periods in one moment. That's pretty much it. So it's really not a plot spoiler or anything like that. Now, I absolutely think this is great of Ryan Coogler to go here. This is brave. As soon as I realised what he was doing, I'm like, dude, this is brave. Okay, all right, let's do this. But he didn't put the balls to the wall on it. It just seemed too tame. I'm like, if you're going to go there and you're going to show future, like rappers and DJs, and you're going to show the past, I wanted him to go all out. And I don't think that the cinematography and his shot composition here went all out enough with it. I don't think the characterization of the people we saw on screen went all out with it. I just think if you're going to do that, go full Baz Luhrmann. Baz Luhrmann on a scene like that would have gone all out, would have gone crazy. And in a way, this film reminds me a bit of a Baz Luhrmann type film mixed with a Coen Brothers film, and definitely mixed with Robert Rodriguez's From Dusk Till Dawn. And if you've seen that film, you obviously know what I'm talking about there, involving vampires. But when I was about 60 minutes into this film, and this is going to sound like the most arrogant thing I've ever said on this channel,
but I'm kind of a big deal.
I'm just being honest. I had spent the day editing my feature film screenplay.
Well,
my part 2 out of my part 1 and part 2 screenplay. I'd spent a lot of time editing it, reading through it. It's not completed yet, but I was doing a lot of work on it. 60 minutes into this film, I'm sitting there going, I wish I could be watching my own film. I started seeing my own film on a big screen. I even looked around, seeing the audience, and I was imagining what my film would look like in front of this audience. That's how taken out of the film, just how lost I was with this film, because it was like, okay, where is this going? And then when we finally get into the third act, with the big reveal and the vampires and all that, it just splutters for me. It's like, the vampires at the door, the vampires go. We're back inside, then the vampires are at the door, then the vampires go. Then one of the guys inside go out, they need to hang a shit or a pee or whatever, they're outside, they get bit, the vampires are back at the door. They're back at the door because the vampires aren't coming in until they get invited in. And it kind of just splutters, but overall my problem with Sinners is, what did it mean? Like, what I personally, as far as heart and story and characters and wanting to feel emotionally moved, I just wasn't emotionally moved by this film. So that's why I didn't love Sinners at all. And would I want to see Sinners again? No! Probably not. Maybe as a reviewer and a filmmaker myself, maybe I should watch it again. Maybe I should give it another go. Maybe I will. But at this stage, I wouldn't want to sit through that again. I'm a pretty intelligent guy when it comes to film, and I know what I like. Now, audiences, though, seem to like this film. So, hey, power to you. I really hope people love it, and I really hope people go and support it. But I just felt a bit empty. And there are reviewers now on YouTube that are speaking against the film as well. Now, like I said, we're in a minority, but the people that I've heard speak about this film will give it a very lukewarm to negative review, including my friend Toller Talks. If you watch his review at Toller Talks, his review was spot on. It's not great. And I think he's got that in his title saying, Sinners, it's not great. And he's right, it's not great. His review literally nails it.
nailed it.
You're a smart motherfucker, that's right.
So go and watch his review as well, and you'll see that he pretty much agrees with me, or I agree with him. Yeah, so that's my thoughts, guys, on this. Now, what would I give it overall as a score? Well, disappointingly, just for me personally, I'm giving this a 5. I'm giving this a 5 as in a star for the costume, the performances, you know, most of the direction, the music, etc. The other 5 is for the things that really just, for me, just didn't work for me. The lack of, you know, the lack of those 5 points for things that didn't work for me. So that's my review, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, just like a lot of people disagreed with me on my Nosferatu review, but there are a lot of people that agreed with me on that as well. I just felt empty, and though I didn't get much out of this film. And also, there were some things that just didn't make sense. Now, these come with a few little spoilers, nothing much, but... So, Guys, a few things for those that have seen the film or those that come back here later to watch the rest of this review after seeing it, things that didn't make sense for me is, for example, the building. The building they're in is burning and it burns to the ground. You see it later at night time, it's burning to the ground. The next day, the building's erect. It's all up because that's where the Klan come, and we never see the Klan in the uniform, you know, the white pillowcases or whatever, but the Klan show up and they're now going to take out, you know, these two brothers and the black people because they're a bunch of racist morons, but the building is up, and why is the Klan showing up in day? The Klan notoriously operated and worked in night. Wouldn't it have been more exciting to have the Klan show up at night against the vampires?
Let's talk about Chinese people with their kung fu and all that silly chang chang chong talk. I can't understand you. Go back to your country, white power.
And then there's a subplot in this film with Indian vampire hunters, which I think could, you know, make for a great prequel film maybe. So you got the Indian vampire hunters, you got the vampires, and then you got the Klan, and the director never gets them together. He never gets them together to try and get into this building or have an all-out war. And I think that was a massive missed opportunity. And the thing that upset me the most about this film is you've got the two brothers and you never, ever, with the lead up to this film and 137 minutes, we never get to see these two brothers take on the vampires. And sorry guys, here's a bit of a spoiler. We never get to see the brothers together because one of the brothers gets bit. So he's then locked inside a room inside the building and he's turning into a vampire. So what I really wanted to see was these two kick-ass cool brothers with Michael B. Jordan with all his swagger taking on the vampires. And we never get to see it. So that was just, that felt really hollow for me and made the film seem a bit hollow. But guys, once again, I hope you guys like it. I hope you enjoy it. There is a lot to like, but unfortunately, it just left me empty, and I'm thinking, nah. I want to feel something from a film, and I just didn't with Sinners, and I thought that was a lot of time in the cinema for not much payoff. Now, guys, there is a mid-credit sequence. It's a very, very important, especially if they end up doing a sequel or whatnot, a very important and kind of lengthy mid-credit sequence that you have to see. So do not leave the cinema, watch that. And then at the very end of the credits, there is a final scene as well. It's not super important, but it is there if you want to see it. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. If you like this and you like an opinion that isn't just kissing the butt of filmmakers out there.
I'm not a kiss ass.
And from a film reviewer that's using their own gumption and guts to just speak honestly to you guys who are paying your money.
Money, please!
Who may just not enjoy a vampire film with not much heart and just, you know, not much payoff, then I hope you appreciate my honesty here. So please like, smash, subscribe, leave all your comments and all that stuff as well. And I'm ready for the hate, bring it on. But until next time, let's look a little deeper into film.